Playing solo in Albion Online has always been a challenge. One fight decides if you walk home rich or respawn broke and naked in the main cities. Wanna stay on top? Then use the meta sets. Alright, today we are going to check out 5 top builds that are meta in 2025 for both PvP and PvP in Albion Online. But that's not all. For each build, I'll talk about which skills are better to play, show you a recommended set, and then share a couple of tricks about how to use that build. So the first meta build we are going to cover is buff Badon, the things that makes you crazy with both movability and interrupts. The set we use here is buff Badon with assassin jacket, mercenary hood, soldier boot, and undead cape. For the weapon, we can choose these skills in order depending on your playstyle. You can also run with first Q or also second Q or W. The same thing, you can use either first and second W depending on the situation. For example, if it's a fight where you have the upper hand in mobility or item popper, you can go with first Q and first W. This way you can deal more damage to enemy and melt them down in a very short time. But if the enemy has good mobility or you need to win the fight with kiting, it's better to use both second Q and second W. About the weapon passive, if you feel like you don't run out of energy, you can go with the first passive to slow enemy more. But if you think you might run out of energy in a long fight, then take the second passive so you can regen your energy by hitting the enemy with auto attack and regen your energy. That's it. For the jacket, put the ability on invisibility and passive on the first one to get more damage. For the boots, we're using the soldier boots in this build to help recover the HP we lost and make up the lack of sustain. Now let's talk about helmet. You got 2 options, mercenary hood or call of purity. They do the same things but in different way. You can choose between them depending on your budget and also your play style. The next build we are looking at is Frost, one of the scariest weapons in open world, especially for new players. For this build, we are also using Assassin Jacket because it's one of the strongest open world armors, super good for countering enemies, resetting fights, or surviving in a risky situation. The rest of the set is Torch, Sandals, and Call of Purity. Okay, Frost abilities. For Q, we can use third ability because it's AoE and also deal good damage and slow enemy with no cast time. For W, Frost Nova is amazing. You can use it both defensively to escape or offensively to lock down a fight. And your ultimate, it will root enemy for a good time and give you a good chance to deal more damage or kite the enemy or reset the fight, whatever you want you can do with that time. About your helmet, Call of Purity will help you to deal more damage and interrupt enemy when you're kiting, and your sandals will helps you to restore your energy and also give you extra mobility for kiting or disengaging. Together, this set makes a Frost both terrifying to fight and very safe to play in Black Zone. That's it. Alright, before go for the next build, it's a deal time. If this video hits 200 likes, I will drop the next chapter covering the most underrated solo build. So, like the video. Now let's move on to the Battle Axe, a true brawl weapon that shine in solo open world. What makes this build scary is it's sustain. You deal damage and heal so crazy. And the set I recommend to use is battle axe with mercenary jacket, guardian helmet, any sandals, and torch. For the weapon, you can set your Q to the third ability, stack bleeding on enemy, and also effect on your ultimate damage and heal. For W, you can set on adrenaline boost, gives you extra attack speed and movement, perfect for chasing or surviving, or you can set it on battle rush to debuff enemy and get good mobility. Your ultimate down with huge burst damage and also amplified by your bleed stacks that I said in the top. For your passive, usually go with healing from auto attack. It's super match with your kit, but you can also use the first passive to bleeding the enemy and deal more damage. For jacket, you can use mercenary jacket. It's the core your sustain engine. Every time you hit the enemy or deal damage with your bleedings, you will heal back yourself. And helmet, guardian helmet for clutch heal or cleans debuffs on you, and also sometimes you can use it in perfect timing to dodge some damage. And for mobility, you can use any sandals, but set the ability on the second that regen your energy. Next up, we got the Battle Bracer, one of the flashiest and most fun solo weapon in this game. They give you crazy mobility, a strong burst, and excellent outplay potential. The set I recommend you is Battle Bracer with Assassin Jacket, Fiend Coat, and Hunter Shoes. For your weapon, you can set your Q on second ability because it's real crazy for interrupting enemy with throwing them on air and also low cooldown. For your W, you can set on triple kick, and it's, bread and butter, letting you stick to enemy or repositioning quickly. And your ultimate, dash and smash, it deals heavy damage and also give you a good mobility and lets you to chase or disengage depending on the situation you're in. For your passive, you can go with cooldown reduction. It keeps your mobility and combos online more often. And your gear, you can set your assassin jacket on invis. It's really cool for reset or joking or setting up big plays. And your helmet, you can use Fiend Cold to purge enemy buffs like mercenary jacket or something like that. You can use your boots on refresh sprint for cooldown reset, and it's super strong and synergize with your kit. Finally, let's talk about the normal spear, the classic duelist weapon that has been staple for solo players for years. It's simple, reliable, and still very strong in 2025 metas. The set I recommend you is regular spear with torch, assassin jacket, fiend cold, or you can also use a stalker hood, depends on the play style, hunter shoes, and undead cape. You can set your skill for your weapon, like your Q on a spear to stack up and deals damage and also a slow enemy. Your W ability on a spear, your choice depends on your weapon spec and the opponent you're facing. If you don't have much spec and the enemy doesn't have high mobility, their first ability can be really good. But if the enemy has a lot of mobility, you can switch your W to cripple. That way, every time you use it, you purge the movement speed buffs, deal damage, and also gain movement speed. However, if you have enough spec, the best option is Implar because it deals AoE damage, has a good cast range, and even slow the enemy. About your ultimate, the signature move of regular spear, elite that threw the enemy on air and stun them and let you follow up with high burst. You can use it for escape or sometimes for engage, depends on your position and situation. And your passive, you can select your first passive if you want more debuff on your enemy and slow the enemy more. But if you want to attack with your enemy and have a close range fight with enemy, it's better to set your passive on attack speed. About your gear, you also will use assassin jacket for invis reset and lets you reposition or reset when you need it. Helmet fiend cold to purge enemy buffs, or sucker hood to deals more damage and also remove invis buffs on your enemy. For your boots, you will use hunter shoes with refresh sprint for strong chase and refreshing your cooldown more faster. And of course undead cape, because in the open world you never have a fair fight. Undead cape that will save your life many times. And that's the top 5 solo meta builds for Albion in 2025. Go test them and find your style. And most importantly, stop respawning naked in town. See you in the next video.